In the landscape of modern retail, few names resonate with such power, loyalty, and revolutionary innovation as Costco. The company is not just a store, not just a warehouse filled with goods stacked high, but the embodiment of a retail philosophy that challenged the norms of consumer shopping and forever changed how millions of people think about value, loyalty, and the very act of buying. To understand Costco's rise, one has to go back to the roots of its creation, to the vision of a small group of entrepreneurs who dared to rethink everything about retail, who chose discipline over extravagance, and who introduced a membership model that would ultimately redefine the balance between customer and company. The origins of Costco are deeply tied to the warehouse club concept, pioneered in the mid-20th century. The seeds of the model were planted by Sol Price, a visionary retailer, who in 1976 opened Price Club in a converted airplane hangar in San Diego, California. His idea was simple but radical. Instead of trying to attract every possible shopper, he would limit access to those willing to pay an annual membership fee. In return, these members would be given access to products at rock-bottom prices, often sold in bulk, stripped of frills, and offered with razor-thin margins. Price's formula was not about profit on individual items, but about volume, efficiency, and trust. Customers felt like insiders, part of a club where the rules of retail had been rewritten in their favor. This concept of exclusivity, mixed with savings, created a loyalty bond, unlike anything seen in traditional supermarkets or department stores. Among the many who observed Sol Price's success were two men who would later become the architects of Costco, James Sinegal and Jeffrey Brotman. Sinegal, who had worked under Price and absorbed his philosophies about efficiency, discipline, and customer-first thinking, was a retail operator with a sharp eye for detail and an unwavering commitment to principles. Brotman, on the other hand, was an attorney and businessman with a flair for vision, finance, and long-term strategy. Together, they formed a partnership that balanced operational grit with strategic foresight. In 1983, they opened the first Costco warehouse in Seattle, Washington, immediately setting in motion a revolution that would spread across the United States and then far beyond. From its earliest days, Costco embraced a model that was both bold and simple. Customers paid a membership fee to gain access to low-margin, bulk-priced products. This membership model was the beating heart of the company's strategy. The annual fee, modest compared to the savings customers enjoyed, created a stable stream of revenue that was not dependent on product sales. This meant that Costco could operate on margins far thinner than traditional retailers, often marking up products only 14% compared to the 25–50% typical in supermarkets and department stores. The membership fee insulated Costco from volatility, allowed it to focus purely on delivering value, and, most importantly, created a psychological contract between the company and its members. Paying for access gave customers a sense of belonging, exclusivity, and loyalty. They were not merely shoppers, they were stakeholders in a shared vision of value. The Costco experience was unlike any other retail environment. Walking into a warehouse, customers encountered towering shelves stacked with goods in their original pallets, concrete floors, bright industrial lighting, and a sense of organized chaos. There were no fancy decorations, no soothing music, no unnecessary frills. Instead, the atmosphere radiated authenticity. The company's strategy was to strip away every unnecessary cost, fancy displays, advertising campaigns, or excessive variety, and redirect those savings into lower prices for the members. For customers, it was thrilling, because every trip to Costco felt like a treasure hunt. The limited but carefully curated selection meant that products rotated frequently, seasonal specials appeared without warning, and unique items could vanish quickly. Scarcity combined with exclusivity to create excitement, urgency, and a sense of reward when shoppers found exactly what they wanted at a bargain price. One of Costco's operational masterstrokes was its approach to product selection. Instead of offering tens of thousands of SKUs like a traditional supermarket, Costco deliberately kept its assortment limited, often under 4,000 items at a time. This meant that every product on the shelves had to earn its place, ensuring only the best value and quality reached customers. Suppliers knew that winning a spot at Costco meant access to millions of loyal members, but it also meant strict price discipline, uncompromising quality standards, and relentless scrutiny. This pressure created a virtuous cycle where suppliers competed to deliver better deals and customers reaped the benefits. The limited assortment also allowed Costco to buy in massive quantities, driving down costs even further through economies of scale. Efficiency permeated every part of the Costco model. Employees were paid better than industry averages, fostering loyalty and reducing turnover. But they were also cross-trained and highly productive. Distribution systems were streamlined, logistics finely tuned, and waste minimized. Products were displayed in their shipping cartons, saving labor and cutting unnecessary costs. Checkouts were optimized for speed, with employees trained to process items rapidly, often with oversized barcodes to minimize scanning time. Every decision came back to a central philosophy: cut costs without cutting quality, and always pass savings on to members. The growth of Costco was nothing short of extraordinary. Within a few years of its founding, the company had expanded across the Pacific Northwest and beyond, its membership base swelling as word of mouth spread about its unbeatable value. By the late 1980s, Costco had grown large enough to rival its inspiration, Price Club, leading to a historic merger in 1993. The combined company, initially called Price Costco, eventually streamlined its identity to simply Costco. And with this merger, the foundation was laid for the global retail powerhouse that continues to dominate today. As Costco spread across the United States, its membership model continued to prove its power. Customers renewed year after year at astonishing rates, often above 90%. The psychology of membership was profound. People who paid for access were more committed, more engaged, and more loyal than casual shoppers. Membership fees provided Costco with billions in steady income, covering much of its operating expenses and allowing the company to price goods with unparalleled aggressiveness. In effect, the membership fees transformed Costco from a store into a community, a club where customers felt invested in the mission of saving money without sacrificing quality. Competitors initially scoffed at Costco's bare-bones presentation, its focus on bulk items, and its refusal to chase traditional advertising. Yet over time, they could not ignore the results. Supermarkets struggled to match Costco's prices. Department stores could not replicate its loyal membership base. Even giants like Walmart, with its Sam's Club division, were forced to rethink strategies in the face of Costco's disciplined growth. Costco did not rely on flashy marketing campaigns, but on a relentless focus on operational excellence and the simple power of word of mouth. Its stores spoke for themselves, and its members became its most effective evangelists. The impact of Costco on American consumer culture was profound. Families began to plan their lives around bulk shopping trips, filling their cars with oversized packs of toilet paper, giant tubs of peanut butter, and crates of soda. The Costco shopping trip became a cultural ritual, a blend of necessity and adventure. Shoppers not only saved money, but felt like participants in a smarter, savvier form of consumption. The famed $1.50 hot dog and soda combo at the food court became a symbol of Costco's philosophy, value so unbeatable that it seemed almost impossible. That single offering, unchanged in price for decades, told customers that Costco was not just a company, but a guardian of their wallets. As Costco expanded internationally, the model proved universally adaptable. Stores opened in Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and beyond. In every country, the formula remained consistent: a paid membership, granting access to a carefully curated assortment of goods at extraordinary prices. Local suppliers were incorporated, regional tastes respected, but the core principles of efficiency, simplicity, and loyalty never wavered. Whether in Tokyo or Toronto, Costco members shared the same thrill of insider access and unbeatable value. Costco's financial performance reinforced the wisdom of its model. The majority of its net income came not from selling goods, but from membership fees. This meant that the company could afford to operate on razor-thin margins, delighting customers while maintaining profitability. It was a business model that aligned company interests with customer interests in a way few others had achieved. The more members saved, the more loyal they became, and the more likely they were to renew their memberships, perpetuating a cycle of growth that seemed almost unbreakable. Beyond numbers, Costco's story carries inspiring lessons for entrepreneurs and business leaders. It demonstrates the power of focus, discipline, and commitment to core principles. In an industry often obsessed with expansion, variety, and flash, Costco thrived by embracing simplicity, exclusivity, and trust. It teaches that innovation does not always come from complexity, but from clarity of vision and relentless execution. It shows that loyalty is earned not through gimmicks, but through consistency, fairness, and shared value. And it proves that a business can achieve extraordinary success while paying employees well, maintaining high standards, and resisting the temptation to cut corners. Costco's journey, from its roots in Saul Price's vision to its status as a global retail giant, is a testament to what is possible when a company dares to rethink the fundamentals of its industry. Today, with over 800 warehouses, tens of millions of loyal members, and annual revenues in the hundreds of billions, Costco stands as one of the most successful and admired retailers in history. Its model has influenced competitors, reshaped consumer expectations, and created a cultural phenomenon that extends far beyond shopping. The story of Costco is not merely about retail. It is about trust, loyalty, and the radical power of simplicity. It is about entrepreneurs who understood that customers would commit not just to prices, but to principles, and that the bond of membership could be one of the most powerful forces in business. In a world that often confuses innovation with complication, Costco's legacy is a reminder that true innovation sometimes lies in stripping things down, in focusing on what truly matters, and in building relationships that last. It is a story that inspires, motivates, and continues to shape the way the world shops, proving that when vision meets discipline, the result can be nothing less than revolutionary.